The following is a fan-based discussion. All properties discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, Hasbro, and Subaru Productions.
Hello, everybody.
Practice makes perfect.
Totally forgot what video we're doing.
How we would fix Kamen Rider Z-O.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Or not.
I don't wanna.
We're fixing it.
I don't think it.
In our
okay,
minds.
first of all, that's not fixing it and making a new show is not the same thing. That is what we're doing. We're making a new show from the ground up. That is the only way to fix this. Burn it down, salt the earth, make something else. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
You can fix the show that we've been given.
I could try, damn it.
He didn't say he
I'm
would
here
succeed.
for that attitude.
Trying is half the process, Matt. You should know this.
We're doing pre-production.
Yeah.
Which is the exact same thing as what I just said. Moving on.
We're in the storyboard phase.
How do we fix this dumpster fire of a trash fire?
Well, it starts with the main character.
Okay. I do have one caveat.
What's that?
Keep laws. He doesn't really need
Yeah, each their own.
to be fixed.
Yeah, each their own. But,
I'm in the burn it down category.
I know you've said as much. But, to begin with, what the heck is the... Kamen Rider Z-O, I don't remember his actual...
Soga.
Soga Bogabe. And, so, Z-O as a character feels like he was written far too young, emotionally immature. Never once did I believe him in the role. And he has no charisma.
So little, I'm already yawning.
That's the main part.
And it's you needed him. I said this in the review. I don't want to just repeat what I said there, but you need to make him more effectual. You need to give him more charisma, and you need to give him more of a stronger personality. Somebody who we could see from the get-go. It's like when he just like walks into the shop and he's like, "I want to be king. I'm gonna be king one day."
I just can't wait to be...
Yeah, you don't believe it. You don't believe it once.
Yeah, it's like the story writing is trying to convince us that that's what he wants, instead of us feeling like...
Well, the story writing is convincing us by just having him look at the camera and say what he wants.
He just can't
As opposed to illustrating it in any kind of way that there might be some kingly qualities within him, that he is any kind of a leader, that he is any kind of a person with any kind of driver person with any kind of driver ambition whatsoever, as opposed to someone who is willing to just sit back and let the side characters cart him around from place to place like they're going shopping at the Plot supermarket.
I think
in the clearance aisle.
You could keep the reasoning for why the other two came back. But I think you need to make Sogo a little bit more morally gray so we can see exactly how he gets to the point where they're coming from.
I don't know if you need to make him morally gray, but we need to see how... We need to at least see there is the potential for being a leader. Like, maybe he's like a club leader. Maybe we give him like a good save the cat moment where we see him like help some people out.
But at the same time, we give him a moment where he maybe ruthlessly kills a monster without remorse to see how he can become this dark, evil king that they claim he will become. That's what he means. Yeah.
Claim is different.
If he makes like a needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few situation and kills somebody or like a monster...
Maybe he accepts some collateral damage.
That could work.
Acceptable losses.
I would change the theme song.
Didn't mind it, but
yeah.
Just that's a me thing, I know, but
I
didn't like it. I would change it.
The suits from square one. All of them.
I don't inherently think that making your suits based on past riders is a bad thing, but for the love of God, do better.
I don't even consider like the base form that bad, a watch or clocks, as a concept because they are time travel.
It's too bulky.
It is too bulky. I'm not saying, but I'm saying as a concept.
That belt looks like it's about to get caught on everything he walks past.
Oh, absolutely.
To be fair, a lot of the belts nowadays do. You saw the X8 one.
Yeah, the X8 I think is still the bulkiest belt out there. But the suits need to be redesigned from the ground up. Period.
Now, strangely enough, Revice is doing this a little bit differently because they're taking the anniversary aspect, but they're not doing like all of this other stuff happened.
They're not shoving it down our throats.
Yeah, they're not shoving it down our throats, so they're not really focusing on the past.
But at the same time, they're giving homages to it.
Yeah, the forms are just based on it. So will we still end up having like we can see the others?
Here's the thing: I like the idea of them traveling back in time, and somehow the bad guys are trying to mess with the past, and in so messing with whatever Rider was from that era. Mm-hmm. And by helping them out, we learn more lessons, and it's up to our lead whether or not he wants to take that and use it in a way that is more that is more ruthless or more virtuous.
I really think if they're going to do that, especially because I do want Decade to come back, because I feel like he's a good theme for that. I feel like the Ryuki one needs to be a turning point.
I feel like
because of how morally gray some things in that show really are.
Mm-hmm. I get that. I definitely want to keep the previous Rider themed monsters because the designs for those were top notch.
Some of them are good, yeah.
And I like the idea of kind of corrupting and perverting the Rider to make that thing, which I think is cool. But once again, if you're going to bring back previous actors, can we not pull a Decade in this alternate universe bullshit? Make it the
just
same.
Have it be them,
yeah,
or
them in their own story instead of
them in their own story, or meet them in the present, and so we see like where are they today, that sort of thing. Depending on the story, whichever would work better for the character.
I agree.
Something like Build, which happened the year before, I don't think we need the time travel for that. I think we can walk down the road a few blocks and then go talk to him.
Well, if we're presuming that this all takes place in,
because you gotta remember, Build.
I think it's better if it does
in one world.
I just hand wave it. I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters that much. If at the end of Build we did merge worlds with another one where that never happened, I think you can skirt around it fine. Because again, we're traveling through time. Because even if we're traveling back in time, that would imply it all still happened. So, what difference would it make if we met him in the present or not?
Yeah, here's the problem with time travel. Because then you start.
You're gonna run into plot holes regardless of what time travel story is. It's just not something you can avoid. So just do it. So just do it as best you can.
Or do it. Here's what I'm going to propose: they do it better. Do what Decade did, more or less. Don't make it AR, of course. That was just stupid. But have it so it is these 20 worlds. He can go through time and space. Go over time and space. And go to each one. And that way it can take place in the year that their activity actually happened.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's something, but I would... So you want to keep Waz exactly the way he is.
Waz was no problem. Waz was amazing.
I would change some of the other villains, and I would make them I would make them less petty. There are some episodes where when they change the person into the monster, it's like, aha! You stubbed your toe. Make a contract with me, and you won't stub your toe.
Yeah.
And then they turn them into a monster.
The motivations could definitely change.
It's make them a little more malicious.
Yeah.
And less like they're just trying to scam you into buying a used car.
Yeah. I do like the concept of the Future Riders. Mm-hmm. Just because as you go forward, things are going to change. So I actually like how they did that.
You're talking about like Quiz and whatnot.
Yeah, Quiz, Shinobi, Ginga, Kikai. Especially because we still need balls this form. So I feel like that they still work as a thing.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like this is mostly just going to come down to YouTube because there are things I still like about this show.
Well, we know where he stands. He's burn it to the ground, make snowman out of the ashes. I think Matt said all that he needs to say regarding this.
Gaze needs a clear story path instead of changing every 15 seconds. Or if you're going to do that...
Don't make him entirely reactive as a character.
Yeah. Or if you're going to do that... As
Matt is often wont to say.
Make it so he's a lot more tied to the time period that he comes out. So when his personality changes, something in the future changed. Mm-hmm. So we can get constant flashes back to the future. Back in time.
Get back in time.
But yeah, I feel like if you're going to do that, it just needs something a little bit more to be able to really make sense.
Yeah.
Gaze had a, like...
Maybe not so much make sense, but just be better.
You can do better. Be better.
Also,
so
I feel like you could integrate... Because he was in the show briefly. But you could integrate Aqua into the show a little bit better. Who knows?
I mean, it makes sense because he was a writer from the future.
He was a writer from the future.
And he already traveled through time and space. So I feel like he could definitely...
He was from the future.
Look at his dream. Look at his soul. We're a bunch of idiots.
If that wasn't clear to you by now...
I feel like at the end of the show, like if you just want to mess with some stuff, bring in the Time Rangers to fix it.
Just bring in the Time Rangers.
I finally get to use this. We are a symphony of idiots.
We're a string quartet of idiots.
String trio.
That is more accurate.
But yeah.
No, wait. It's a quartet. Your ego is the fourth.
It's true. He was in another episode. You saw him. Decade. I miss Decade.
I know.
Anyway.
Don't say his name 5 times.
It's okay. There's no mirror.
Decade.
Not a mirror. Doesn't count.
That's more Beetlejuice logic.
But yeah, God,
I've said pretty much all that I can think.
Yeah,
I sort of want
short of doing what we did with the last disaster that happened when we tried to fix something where we just turned it into a completely different show.
I had something.
The Bill one wasn't so bad. The one before that, I think. Because I want to do something to focus on the movie. No, that one. It was one of the Sendai's.
I want to do something to focus on the movie.
Okay.
And the end of the show proper. Because I want sort of like the previous Heisei ones where they had like an alternate timeline thing happening in the movie. So I want the show to follow on like Granzio is his final form. That's it. Mm-hmm. He doesn't get the Ulma form. So that's like the good timeline. I want the movie to go
the darkest timeline.
Bad timeline. where Gaze's fears actually come true. Mm-hmm. But it happens a lot earlier this time around, and Gaze actively kills him. I want that timeline movie.
I like that idea.
You just want to watch the main character die.
Well, no. I think that I generally think it's a cool idea, but also yes.
Yeah, that's really all we could say.
And Decade and Dian still show up to be bastard men.
No.
I do want Decade to show up.
No.
I love Decade.
He doesn't have to.
No.
In this show.
I think we're good.
I think he was fantastic.
I think we've had enough Decade.
I thought he was so good.
Decade's like fried chicken at a church luncheon. It's like, okay, 20 of you have brought it. I think we're good now.
Speak for your damn self.
I love fried chicken. But
and the church luncheon, is good.
Maybe a little less.
Mother Joyce stuck her...
Variety.
Mother Joyce stuck her foot in the
spice of life.
Anyway, let us know what you think about our solutions in the comments down below. How would you fix?
For a little bit that we're in this episode. We really didn't do much. It was just, start over. Keep some things, change others.
Didn't I fucking say... Anyway.
I said I would try. I never said I would succeed. Just like everything else in life.
I still approve of that.
Let us know how you would fix Zio if you agree or disagree. What show should we fix next? Let us know in the comments down below and follow us on all the things. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.